I began this journey unaware I was going to be on this journey, which I think a lot of people do, when my dad was dying. And I remember I was 29 when he died, and it was probably about like 3 or 4 months before he died. And he had leukemia, and he was supposed to get a bone marrow transplant. And he went down there, and they did testing, and he had advanced too quickly, so they basically sent him home to die. And it was really challenging for him at the time because I have a half brother who at the time was only 7. My son was only 3, and he was only 59. And he was sitting on his bed, and he just had his like head in his hands, and he's like, I guess we just all have to go sometime. And it was so hard for me because I had nothing to say to him. I couldn't understand like why this was happening. How could this be happening? Like why is life like this? Like why would we agree to do this? And the only thing I could do was just like get into bed with him and just wrap my arms around him and hug him. I had nothing to say to like console him. And that just stuck with me like so much. And I really did a lot of soul searching after that experience. And what I wanted the most was to understand why and try to make sense of it in a way where I could understand why we have these life experiences, knowing the shadow aspects of it. And that's really the motivation for this. And so when that happened about 15 years ago, it just kind of propelled me on this journey of putting myself in any situation where it was about self-development or learning about spirituality and going through a pranic yoga teacher training and dealing with my own grief and starting my own business, but getting divorced and like just kind of like living my life and realizing how trying to find fulfillment and acceptance and also live a great life experience. And, through the process of self-awareness and all the things that I talk about, I was able to do that. And so this project has really come from me taking the worst thing that ever happened to me and understanding and gaining the wisdom of it being honestly probably one of the most important things that ever happened to me. And so that really motivated me to show other people what I had experienced, because I thought that it could help them and maybe their challenging experiences would be easier. So it's influenced me in a really positive way because I've been able to use the systems and the processes and the experiences and the things that I've created that have brought me some of the most beautiful things in my life from a manifestation standpoint, relationship-wise, and really help people who were in similar situations, struggling with wanting to find a fulfilling relationship, wanting to find professional success, wanting to experience abundance, and really having been in those depths with myself has put me in a position where I'm able to really help people from that space of being able to see the potential that they have and being able to see the potential that we have as human beings to impact our personal realities. So that's really where, I feel like the most powerful work is for me. I think the biggest thing I struggled with is that in order to be free, I had to let it all go. I had to let go of the things that had happened to me. I had to let go of the past. I had to let go of my own judgments. I had to let go of resentments. So I had to do a lot of changing, which can be really scary. But on the other side of that is freedom. And the hardest thing that I experienced was letting go of painful things that had happened because I was validated in my feelings. So it wasn't that I wasn't right. It's just that I had held on to these things for too long. And it was recognizing how they impacted my ability to have a new future. And that, when I made that recognition, then I had the motivation and the understanding to be different. Because until I made that connection, I didn't understand. It was like, I didn't understand, well, these things had happened to me. I'm trying to manifest, but I was still holding on to them. And in that future reality, that's not the energy of the person that I wanted to become and the experience that I wanted to have. And I think for most of us, letting go of the things that we're very validated in feeling is one of the hardest things to do. But when it comes to the manifestation process, it's one of the most critical. So one of the most important aspects of this process is remembering that you are the most important relationship that you will ever have. So when you are embarking on your self-exploration or self-discovery journey, it's all about you. And it's really, connecting with the things that make you feel good and that resonate with you. But you don't have to connect with the whole thing. Taking the bits and pieces that make sense to you and kind of assembling your own way of being, because you're a completely unique human being. There is nothing else like you on this planet, which is totally crazy and is something that we kind of bypass from a day-to-day, interaction type of thing. So, it makes total sense that, a process for someone else might not have the same result as a process for you. However, there are, very well tested theories and practices out there as it relates to manifestation that you can kind of integrate into your own way of being to then create the experience that you want. But again, it's really about following your own heart and what you need and what you're kind of guided towards, and really just taking those steps and knowing that there's no set path. You create it and you're the expert on you. So when you can start to create some coherence within you as far as your emotions and your thoughts and your feelings and kind of clear it out of the way, and then you're able to see what's there, then you kind of know where you want to move next, or the opportunity presents itself next. So it really is important to, again, just keep an open mind. Don't judge yourself, because it's all about you and creating the experience that you want and making and utilizing these outside sources to complement whatever you have going on.